Through most of its history, Judeo-Christian culture has put humans at the center of the universe. The earth was for us a place to subdue and bend to our needs. That traditional view of the world has been changing with the advance of various sciences like astronomy, geology, and ecology. But I think what really changed things was this one photograph of the earth taken in 1972 from the Apollo 17 spacecraft on its way to the moon, known as the Blue Marble. Upon seeing it, the poet and writer Archibald MacLeish said, "To see the earth as it truly is, small and blue and beautiful in that eternal silence where it floats, is to see ourselves as riders on the earth together, brothers and sisters on that bright loveliness in the eternal cold." In viewing this one photograph, we can all understand, in a really fundamental way, the interdependence of our human species and the earth. We are all interconnected. Us, the planets, the animals, the soil, the streams, the oceans, the atmosphere. But as we all know, our society has not well understood these interconnections, which has led to a vast imbalance in the Earth's environment. In particular, we have dug up, pumped out, and burned up unfathomable amounts of fossil fuels to run our industrialized society over the past 200 years. These fossil fuels are the buried remains of plants from ancient oceans and swamps. When we burn these fossil remains on a huge scale, releasing the energy to support our developed world, we are also releasing the CO2 from the cumulative atmospheres of hundreds of millions of years. As most of you know, that CO2 acts like a blanket, making the earth warmer. But it isn't only the earth getting warmer. It's gotten out of balance in a lot of different ways. The increased temperatures can change atmospheric and ocean circulation, which leads to different and often more extreme weather patterns. As the oceans absorb more and more CO2, they become more acidic, so organisms in the sea can't construct their shells. As ice melts in the Arctic and Antarctic, ocean levels rise. And these physical processes in turn affect the Earth's ecosystems. Take our beloved orcas as an example. As winter temperatures warm, we get less snow in the mountains. Less snow means less stream flow during summer and fall, which is critical for spawning salmon. Less snow also means higher stream flows in the winter, which washes away the salmon's eggs in the stream gravels. The orcas in the Salish Sea live off salmon, and with less salmon we have less, perhaps the end of southern resident orcas. It's all connected. The cars we drive, the atmosphere, oceans and climate, the mountains and streams, the salmon and the orcas. So how can we get this ship with a broken rudder back on course? You've already heard about some concrete things you can do, but we all feel the inertia. It's hard to break out of our fossil fuel intensive lifestyle. Let me go back to where I started. How our worldview as a society has regressed from a human-centric to a more interdependent perspective. But let's scale it down to ourselves, to each one of us as an individual. At a very basic level, each individual tends to think of oneself as separate from things around them. But if we truly know, and I mean know, that we are part of the interdependent web of all existence, we feel that we are part of something much greater than ourselves. And there's a 4-letter word for that feeling, L-O-V-E, love. When we have that feeling, we aren't separate from the world. We are of the world. With that feeling, we don't act out of obligation to reduce our carbon footprint. We act because we feel it in our hearts. Go to those feelings that come from when you are in your favorite place in nature. A mountain meadow, the ocean shore, an old-growth forest, maybe with your family. And let that be the reason you take the bus rather than your car. Plant a tree in your local park, or write your legislator about a climate action bill. Just remember that one four-letter word, love.
social, spiritual, and local communities in order to move forward. Support stores and markets that sell local organic food and buy from companies that are local or are reducing their global warming impact. You can feel good about what things you choose to purchase. Make climate action a social norm by visibly taking action that signals to your family, friends, and others around you that it's actually cool. This encourages others to join into these efforts. Talking among friends and working together can be more fun, rewarding, and effective. Promote clean energy sources in your public utilities, such as Puget Sound Energy, by working with the local government on its agreements and regulations related to the utility. Encourage utilities to make better predictions about future energy use. Lobby your city to meet their goals to reduce CO2 emissions, which they've already agreed to do with King County. Talk to your mayor and city councilors about including this in their sustainability plans, building codes, and budgets. Join with others to attend meetings and let officials know how important this issue is to so many people. Help plant trees in your community and nearby areas. Trees consume CO2. Learn about Plant for Life, Plant for the Planet, and join the Climate Action Ministry or the Pew Passionate Church.
Yeah.
describes the difference between brown growth and green growth.
Quote, "The story of brown growth,
That only more fossil fuels can secure progress, has long bullied us in public discourse. But the story of green growth can replace it. The core of that green growth story is that we can transition our economy from creating value from how much resources we can use to one where we create more value with less resources. Our current economic system is extremely wasteful and inefficient. For example, less than 1% of the stone, soil, water, steel, coal, and timber used to create products actually ends up in them. What a waste. The energy in fossil-fueled cars is wasted as heat in the engine and exhaust never reaches the wheels. Coal-powered lighting of buildings waste 99% of its energy. Nearly half the food produced in the United States and Europe is never consumed. Food waste is a huge drain on our resources, since food production alone accounts for 80% of our deforestation, 70% of freshwater consumption, and 30% of greenhouse emissions. Since the Industrial Revolution, the human race has assumed that resources were unlimited and labor was scarce. Now resources are scarce and labor is plentiful. Green growth initiatives can drastically reduce the resource drain on our Earth, eliminate waste, and employ more people all at once. For example, renewable energy sources are now more cost-effective than fossil fuel, and green jobs are the fastest growing sector in the United States. Homes based on green design can use 1/10 of the energy of conventional homes. Add solar panels to your home, and you might even be able to sell energy back to the power company. Electric cars and bikes and improvements in public transportation are cleaner and getting cheaper as they develop. Recent studies show that more than 3/4 of Americans think climate solutions should be a high priority. You may have heard already people talk about a Green New Deal. The Green New Deal aims to transition the U.S., the entire U.S., to 100% clean energy in 10 years, and to create millions of good, high-wage jobs while doing so. Aspen Stokes describes his vision of a green future. Quote, "I have a dream of an astonishing diversity of cultures for the year 2050, all in which friendships, networks, and organizations, learning, storytelling, and the arts flourish in ways specific to their place and geography. City centers are highly walkable and bikeable, with millions of meeting places for chats and fun. The buildings are designed with care for the location, have passive ventilation with better air and uplifting day lighting. There is flirting, gossip, philosophical cafes, street theater, peaceful protest marches, farmers markets, marathons, and concerts aplenty. The cars hum quietly around and do not spread toxic compounds from combustion engines. The food is short-traveled, healthy, highly varied, and incredibly tasty, and we happily pay its full cost. The jobs are green and stimulate well-being through personal mastery and acknowledgement for work well done. A livable minimum wage that makes the freedom and social mobility more than a cliche. There is greenery everywhere in sight on streets and buildings, so sparrows and hawks have recolonized inner city rooftops. This is the world that can be, and we are the ones who can help build it. Our sweet, sacred planet deserves nothing less than our most sincere effort. Mother Nature, after all, is our mother. Let's treat her that way."
Right on. This next song is a hymn called The Anthem of the Earth. Ethan, let's play it one time for them, and then you guys can sing along. And when you're ready, Ethan. Yeah?
So far, you have heard about the positive actions that you can take on an individual level and on a community level, but there are also many things that you can do about climate change on the state level, the national level, and the world level. You are not alone. We are not alone. Here are some things that you can do to add your voice to the thousands of other voices around the world. Join and contribute to nonprofits that support climate change. Contact or meet with your members of Congress and ask them to sponsor and vote for the Innovative Energy and Carbon Dividend Act. This nonpartisan bill would put a fee on carbon emissions and return the revenue to households. It would promote changes in our economic system and encourage businesses to move toward clean energy. Contact or visit your state legislators and ask them to initiate and support clean energy, energy efficiency, and environmental sustainability legislation, subsidies for organic farm labor wages, and organic food for low-income families. Join events and support legal actions with Native American tribes whose way of life is threatened by fossil fuel extraction and transport. Join marches, rallies, demonstrations, or other climate events. Support initiatives that seek to reverse climate change, such as carbon sequestration through sustainable agriculture, raising building standards, promoting zero population growth, and urging legislators to implement climate action plans, such as the Green New Deal. Start by making a commitment to do one thing. Make it interesting and fun. Invite others to join you. Take things step by step and celebrate any progress you are making or seeing. You will be surprised at how much positive power you will uncover in yourself. Use your choice, use your voice, use your vote.
We're going to sing it again, and you guys are going to sing it with us. We're going to make it happen. Our shared commitment. We, nature and humanity, pledge here and now to act as we truly are, as one being, with one heart and a shared destiny. We stand in the light of our highest potential as a single entity with a sacred trust to each other, our children, grandchildren, creatures, and habitats as yet unborn. We passions and needs. Blessed be our one world. We can do this. We must do this. We will do this. It's our task and privilege to be the generations that reframed our relationship to the earth, paving the way for our mutual well-being. Nature will work with us. She will heal, rewild, and renew as we partner in our new potential. We will act like we live here.
You can make a difference right now. In case you didn't before, remember to take a paper leaf from the back of the sanctuary and write down at least one thing you commit to improving, changing, or learning about to help our planet. Then take the leaf to the tree of healing in the back of the sanctuary and post it to the tree.
If we each do our part, no matter how small, our actions will create waves of hope and healing for our world. We will close with a celebration of humanity, the most diverse, beautiful, powerful, and sacred beings on our earth.
At the end of our cosmic journey comes beings with awareness, with knowledge of the cosmos, humanity. The human family sings its songs of life, and through our richness and artistry as beings, we bless this planet. Spinning in space among the oceans and stars, are we not beautiful, divine in our diversity? We are the Earth's song.
Sing, dance, or jump around as you are able. Have a good evening. Drive safe and drive communally.